Now, yesterday the Vita Cortex workers in Cork finally walked out of the factory for the last time after staging a sit-in which lasted 161 days. You might recall we met them in January, but would you welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, some of the Vita Cortex workers who joined us this evening. Jim, hi Jim, nice to see you, how are you? So, I suppose when we last spoke there wasn't a lot of happiness in the air, but maybe you'll kind of give us a review of the last number of months. How's it been for you all?
Well, as you can imagine, right, the last 5 months have been hectic for us. You know, it stopped around the 16th of December, and you know, between then and the 3rd of January, when people were kind of returning to work, it was like a roller coaster. Like, sure, it just flew past us because of the amount of people that were calling to us. But as you can imagine, from there on, then when people were back at work, it got quieter and quieter. But you know, it went on for over 5 months, and it finished yesterday, and you know, it was hectic.
What would you say was the most difficult moment in those 5 months?
That would have to have been about 4 weeks ago. We were in Dublin for mediation talks. Yeah. We were up on a Thursday and everything seemed to be going well, and on the Friday we were back out to mediation talks, and we were informed that the owner had walked away, that he wasn't happy with the way things were going.
Yeah, he thought after all this.
Yeah. So we had to go back to Cork then on the train and tell the rest of the people in the factory below what had happened. So that was definitely the lowest point. Yeah.
And emotionally fraught, no doubt. Yeah. And the highest point, were there moments that you went, okay, things are good now?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of highs and lows, right?
Yes,
but you know, we've had the people that we've met and the support that we've got. I mean, we had Paul McGrath, you know, with us. We were on stage with Christy Moore. We had, you know, if you had asked me that question, I'd say before yesterday, I would have said that it was a phone call from Alex Ferguson that I got personally would have been the high point. But the high point has to be yesterday when we walked through the factory in the reception we got when we came over.
How did that feel?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's like winning the cup final or something, wasn't it?
All over, it was brilliant. Yeah, fantastic.
Let's say hello to Henry. How are you, Henry? It's nice to see you, Henry Riley, of course. Henry, in the middle of all of this, you got some pretty tough news, to say the least, when you were there in the middle of it all.
Yeah, shortly after we were on the late show, I developed what appeared to be the flu, come pneumonia, but later turned out to be cancer. So,
and how have you been, or what have you been doing?
Not great.
Right.
Get on with it.
And did you have to abandon all of that to keep an eye on your health?
Well, partially. That's probably the difficult part for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't participate the same as they could, because with the chemo and whatnot from the cancer, I was sort of incapacitated for about 10 days at a time, and then I'd be able to come in for a couple of days and then back for more chemo. So, you know, I'd say the lads here did the best part about 140 days, 140 nights. Yeah. I probably did maybe about 40 in total.
You look well, I mean, given what you're going through. I have to say, you're keeping the flag flying.
Oh yeah, well, look, if we got through this, I'll get through cancer.
Do you reckon?
Oh,
well, this is no issue. Look at
Super.
John, how are you? John Callahan, good to see you. You know, we were hearing about 5 months later, I was watching on the news coming out, and you did look like a bunch of people who were very, very relieved. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of tears and everything else. We can see it there. It's like you've been released from prison. You know, describe those scenes for me, will you?
It was, I would say that the weather, first of all, was outstanding, and people were waiting, neighbours and friends and people who were very good to us, they were waiting at the factory gate.
Now, I'm a duck. What are they singing?
They're singing the
No, I know what it is. But honestly, such was the jubilation.
It was great. It was high, very high.
What happens next, Sean? I mean, obviously you had yesterday, I presume last night there was a bit of crack had, to say the least. There's a lot of laughing going on here. I'll get to that later. What happened?
We want to have a get-together now and then, so that we establish or keep it going, because we had a kind of a bond together over the months.
Will you miss each other in a weird way after all of that, do you think? Will you? What do you miss?
Like, everything, because of the fact, like when you're working with someone, you're working with lads here on the street. You meet them, but you're busy doing your work. Yeah. But in the situation we were in, we were able to sit down and really figure out each other for 8 hours a day. And you'd meet people's family, like, you know, you'd meet Jim's daughter and his grandchildren and whatnot, and you got to know the entire families of everybody. Yeah. So we know each other
in a way you
never would have had. Yeah. So in a perverted way, it's been wonderful, because we've gotten to get to know each other a lot more intimately than you normally would know your workers.
Will you stay in touch, or are you going to delete their numbers from your phone? What's the plan?
No, we'll definitely stay in touch.
We have an outing on the 16th of June in the Tunnels Cross in the Forest Walk Tavern, and that'll be our first outing together.
Okay, well look, congratulations, you kept it going in the face of adversity and you came out the other end winning. Well done. The Vita Cortex.
One thing we want to do, there's one thing that this is happening to lots of people.
Yes.
Two people in particular, the King's Court brick workers who are in the same situation, and also Wilsons who are experiencing the same problem and they're struggling and fighting to get redundancy, and we want to express our solidarity with them and hope that it works out for them.
Okay, well look, as I say to you, particularly to yourself and your good health, but to your families, good luck and good fortune in the future.
Thank you very much.
Cortex, and so